Today, in the spirit of Halloween, we are taking a look at and ranking every set within the retired Monster Fighters theme. There's a total of 13 sets, but we'll start off with the smaller polybag / promotional sets first, and in a rather quick fashion. At number 13, I have what could barely be called a set, and that's the Monster Fighters Promotional Pack. Overall, this is a Lego sticker sheet with a skeleton minifigure and a few other odds and ends. Definitely not the most exciting Lego set. At number 12, I have set 40076, the Zombie Car Polybag. While this set has more than twice the amount of pieces of the next set and the exact same minifigure, I vastly prefer the vehicle build of our number 11 spot, the Zombie Coffin Car Polybag. As stated, this is the same figure in the previous set, so it's not exclusive, but I vastly prefer the classic look of this vehicle build. And at number 10, I have the last of the polybags, and that is set 30201, the Ghost Polybag. This set comes with what I guess to be a spooky grandfather clock, but the real reason it beat out the other polybags is because I love these classic glow-in-the-dark ghosts, which first appeared in castle-themed sets in 1992. And now we're getting into the true mainline sets, and at number 9, I have set 9462, the Mummy. This is my least favorite of the mainline sets because while it does include an exclusive glow-in-the-dark mummy minifigure and other glow-in-the-dark elements, the Ann Lee figure is reused in the Ghost Train set, and overall I just think this set is a bit too goofy. Especially that mini helicopter. At number 8, I have set 9461, the Swamp Creature. Just like the previous set, we have an exclusive monster figure, and the side figure Frank Rock appears in that same Ghost Train set. However, this set is better in my eyes because it makes a lot more sense. Because the swamp creature is being chased by an airboat, which makes sense for the creature that Jack is chasing being a swamp monster. While the other previous set had a helicopter chasing a mummy on a horse-drawn chariot, which was just a bit too silly. At number 7, I have set 9463, the Werewolf. This is much like the previous two sets, where it's a classic monster character in a sort of similar habitat. Like the others, the main monster figure is exclusive, and I like this figure more than the previous two sets. Also like the classic, yet small looking hot-rodded vehicle that's being operated by Major Quentin Steele, and while the tree build is detailed well enough, and is a good size for this sort of set, this just isn't the most interesting Lego build, but in my eyes, it has a bit more substance than the previous two builds. At number 6, I have set 9465, the Zombies. I actually really like this build overall. I like the vehicle build a lot, which is much bigger and more heavily armored than the previous vehicles in the list. It also comes with two exclusives in the form of the zombie bride and groom. There's also some fun play features like the two graves being able to open up and show the remains of the doomed lovers, and overall it's just a great horror inspired build. At number 5, I have set 9466, the Crazy Scientist and his monster, aka Frankenstein without the license. While I think I like the builds in the previous set a bit better, who doesn't want an exclusive Frankenstein-esque minifigure? Additionally, the set utilized a clever use of light bricks to provide a beam of light into Frankenstein's skull, thus bringing life to this classic monster. Overall, I wish the build was a bit better, but it's counterfeit Frankenstein. Where else would you want me to rank it? At number 4, I have set 9464, the Vampyre Hearse. This set is a bit smaller in piece count than the last couple of sets, but who in their right mind wouldn't want an oversized, souped up Count Dracula style muscle car? It's definitely giving me classic Boomerang wacky races, or even Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf vibes. On that note, would you all like to see a Scooby-Doo ranked list? Let me know in the comments down below. But again, like many of the other sets in the list, the Lord Vampire minifigure, aka off-brand Count Dracula, is sort of exclusive to the set. More on that later. And it also has some glow-in-the-dark features. Overall, while it's slightly smaller in piece count than the previous sets, I think it's more of a cohesive build that I would happily display during the spooky season. At number 3, I have set 9467, the Ghost Train. Sadly, this set does not contain any exclusives, but it did come with 3 classic glow-in-the-dark ghosts. And who wouldn't want a spooky train set to play with on Halloween? Overall, I think the train looks quite good, and it's a really creative design, and it even reminds me of a spooky possessed Thomas the Train. Also really like the plane build in the set. It's not the biggest, but it scales well with the set, and like the train, I like its creative take. Overall, this was a pretty good set for the theme, but the final two sets really step it up a notch. At number 2 I have set 9468, the Vampyre Castle. This is the second largest set in the theme, and it's truly one of LEGO's spookiest builds. Included is the same Lord Vampire from earlier, but this time with a cape, which actually makes him not exclusive because he came with the cape in 2 other sets. And neither really is the previous version exclusive, because if you just throw away the cape, then bam, you have an exclusive figure. Bricklink should really look into how they rank things as exclusives. But what is exclusive is the Bat Monster, of which you receive 2 in the set, and I think they're a fun looking design. But back to the build, this is the spookiest castle that LEGO has ever produced. The front portion of the build can detach and or swing open, showing us the spooky but somewhat limited interior details. But around the front there's an excellently designed gate and 2 towers consisting of a lookout tower on the right and a jail cell which is contained within the left. The back portion of the castle has a bit more interior details, and overall it comes in at quite a menacing size. Lastly, I actually really like the car build in this set. It's a good design all around, and I've always had a soft spot for sand green bricks. However, the set loses some points because it has a tendency to break a little too easy. Before I move on to our number 1 pick, if you enjoyed this video then please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. It really does help and would mean a lot to me. And at our number 1 spot, I have set 10228, the Haunted House. If you have seen any of my other ranking videos, then you would know by now that I love modular style buildings. And while the last set was more of a dollhouse style build, this set is fully enclosed, which lends itself to being a good addition to a LEGO modular city, which is a personal goal of mine to construct. But not to fear, it can also swing open for easy play access to the interior, which I have to say is somewhat lacking in the detail department and much less than we would expect from LEGO today. However, the exterior was very well detailed for 2012, and I think LEGO could release this exterior today and no one would bat an eye. I really like the sand green and black color scheme, and the boarded up windows and half failing shutters were an excellent touch. This set also came with 2 exclusive figures in the form of a zombie chef and Frankenstein, which is different from the previous Frankenstein minifigure from earlier. Overall, this is the best set in the Monster Fighters theme, but it's not the spookiest LEGO set ever created. If you're interested in that, then make sure to check out the video on the end screen now.